Today I've got a little something extra for you. If you have been following me on LinkedIn this past week, you'll know that I've been diving into the fun and slightly murky world of copyright protection for covers. You know what covers are, right? That's when you take someone else's hit song, let's say for the sake of argument a Taylor Swift tune, and somehow manage to sing it better than she does. Well, aside from the applause, there are some copyright issues that tend to tag along. I've already covered the basics in my posts, so if you have been keeping up, you're in the know. If you haven't, well, now you do. But maybe scrolling through LinkedIn isn't your thing, and that's cool. I've got you covered too. What you're about to hear is an AI-powered audio summary of my posts, complete with a few extra nuggets of insight. And yes, you'll still want to check out the original post because naturally I've dropped the links in the episode description for your browsing pleasure. So sit back, relax, and let artificial intelligence summarize my human intelligence. Enjoy.
All right, so have you ever heard like a killer cover song and thought, man, I wish I could do that?
It's such a common thing, right?
Yeah.
But then, the legal side of things probably pops into your head and kind of ruins the fun.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, the sometimes murky world of music copyright and how to navigate it, especially when it comes to, you guessed it, cover songs.
We're talking about how to make sure your awesome rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't land you in legal hot water.
Exactly. Because let's be honest, there are so many incredible covers out there.
Some even give the originals a run for their money.
Totally. And it kind of got me thinking, what actually makes a cover song, legal?
Yeah, it seems pretty simple on the surface, like you're singing someone else's song.
Right.
But legally speaking, it's a little more nuanced.
Yeah, so legally, a cover song is any new recording or performance of an existing song by someone other than the original artist. And here's the kicker. Copyright protection on that original song. It kicks in the second it's recorded. Whoa, seriously. So even if I just like hum a melody into my phone's voice recorder?
Boom, copyright protection. Someone, somewhere, owns the rights to that tune.
Wild, right. Which makes you think about all the covers on a platform like YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Talk about a copyright minefield. It's a fantastic place to share music, don't get me wrong. But
There's always a but.
always, YouTube has this system, Content ID, and it's constantly scanning videos for copyrighted material.
It's like Big Brother, but for music.
Basically.
Yeah.
And if that Content ID flags your video, the copyright holder can decide what happened. Sometimes they'll let it slide, but
Other times, not so much.
not so much.
Mhm.
We're talking videos taken down, accounts penalized, even legal action in some cases.
Oof, talk about a mood killer.
No kidding. So how do we steer clear of that? Well, this is where the magic words come in. Mechanical and sync licenses.
Ah, the golden tickets to cover song heaven.
Think of a mechanical license like getting permission to print sheet music. It lets you reproduce and distribute the song.
Okay, so that's for, say, putting your cover on Spotify or iTunes.
You got it. But what if you're adding your cover to a video, like most people do on YouTube?
That's where the sync license comes in, right? It's specifically for using music with, well, synced visuals.
Exactly. And here's the thing. You often need both for a YouTube cover. You're creating a new recording and putting it in a video.
Double the licenses, double the fun.
Well, maybe not double the fun, but definitely necessary.
So where do we even start with getting these licenses? It sounds kind of intimidating.
It's actually not as bad as you might think. For mechanical licenses, you usually go through organizations like the Harry Fox Agency here in the U.S. They handle all that for you.
And what about sync licenses?
Sync licenses can be a bit trickier. You'll have to reach out to the copyright holder directly, and the fees can be all over the place.
Yikes. Sounds unpredictable.
It can be, for sure.
Right.
But don't worry, there are companies out there that specialize in helping musicians secure those licenses.
Okay, so there's hope. But what about just performing a cover live, like at a bar or a club?
Live performances are a little different. Most venues have something called a blanket license that covers those performance rights.
Phew. So we're good to rock out on stage without a lawyer on speed dial.
Pretty much. But here's the catch. If you record that live performance and then share it online,
We're back to needing those licenses again, aren't we?
you got it. Distributing it changes things.
All right, so we've got our online strategy sorted, licenses are in order. Anything else we should be doing to cover our,
Your bases.
Exactly.
Documentation is key. Keep meticulous records of every license, royalty payment, everything. You need proof that you've done things by the book.
Gotcha, a musical paper trail.
Precisely. And here's another thing to keep in mind. Copyright laws. They're not the same worldwide.
Wait, so even if I'm covering a song by an artist from, say, England, I need to know their copyright laws too.
You absolutely do. What's okay in one country might get you in hot water in another. Do your research, or even better, talk to an intellectual property lawyer.
They've probably seen it all, right?
Well, I'm sure they have some stories. But I think amidst all this legal talk, it's easy to forget why we even care about cover songs in the first place.
Because they're awesome.
Because they're awesome. A great cover is pure magic. It's about creativity, passion, taking a song and making it your own.
It's true. When a cover is done right, it's not just a copy, it's something totally new and special.
Like you're taking something familiar and adding your own, I don't know, your own personal touch to it.
Exactly. And sometimes those covers, they end up being even more well-known than the originals. Like, take Hallelujah, we all think Leonard Cohen.
Right, it's his song, right.
Well, it was originally his, yeah. But it was actually Jeff Buckley's cover in the 90s that really made it a hit.
It's true. It just goes to show you the power of a good cover. It can take a song and give it this whole new life. You know?
Totally. And to me, that's what's so cool about cover songs. It's not about copying. It's about finding those raw materials, the melody, the lyrics, and using them to create something totally unique.
Yeah, it's like this musical tribute, a way of connecting with people through a shared love of a song. And now with YouTube and everything, the reach you can have with a cover is insane. It's not just playing for a few people at a bar anymore.
Yeah, it's like you've got a global stage.
Exactly. And you can collaborate with musicians from all over the world. It's amazing.
And the best part is, if you get those licenses, build a following, maybe even get lucky and go viral, you could actually, make a living from it.
Seriously, it's becoming more and more common these days, and it's awesome. But I think even if you take the whole money thing out of it, there's just something really special about taking an existing song
Yeah.
and making it, your own.
100%. And for people listening to covers, it's like hearing a song for the first time,
Totally. And it can even change the way you think about the original. Johnny Cash said it best when he did his cover of Hurt.
Which, by the way, incredible cover.
Right. He said, that song isn't mine anymore.
Wow. Powerful. And it really makes you think, how many artists have had their songs completely transformed by a cover?
So many. It's like this conversation across generations of music. You've got Johnny Cash covering Nine Inch Nails. Talk about different genres.
Right. And think about how many musicians get their start doing covers. It's like musical practice, finding your voice as an artist.
And connecting with your audience. At the end of the day, isn't that what music is about? Sharing experiences and emotions.
Absolutely. It's like you're adding your own little piece to musical history.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of history, it's pretty amazing how some songs just never seem to get old, Like they get covered over and over again.
And somehow they always feel fresh.
They
It's
do.
true. Every generation kind of puts their own spin on them, like a musical time capsule or something.
Yeah. And with each new cover, the song evolves. It's like this ongoing conversation between artists and music lovers across generations.
It's really cool when you think about it that way. And that brings me to a question for you. If you could pick any cover song to listen to right now, no legal worries or anything, just pure enjoyment, what would it be?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. There are so many to choose from. But I think if I had to pick just one, it'd probably be Joe Cocker's version of With a Little Help from My Friends.
Whoa, interesting. The Beatles' original is such a classic, but...
But Cocker's version, the energy in that performance is just...
Or electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just raw emotion, pure and simple. It completely transforms the song,
Totally. It takes on a whole new meaning. Okay, so that's your pick. What about you? What cover song is at the top of your playlist?
You really put me on the spot here. Let's see. I recently heard this Miley Cyrus cover of Jolene.
Oh, wow. Talk about a different take on a classic.
Right. I mean, Dolly Parton's original is iconic, but Cyrus's version, it's like she took that story, that heartbreak, and made it feel so current, so relatable.
It's amazing how a good cover can do that. It's like you're hearing the song with fresh ears.
Totally. And I think that's what makes exploring the world of cover songs so fascinating. There's this constant reimagining, this reinvention happening. Music is alive, it's always changing and evolving. Absolutely. And hey, maybe this will inspire some of our listeners to give it a try themselves, to take the songs that speak to them and find their own interpretation.
Yes, because at the end of the day, music is about sharing that passion, whether you're singing in the shower or recording your own covers for the world to hear.
Exactly. And if you are thinking about sharing your covers online, just remember what we talked about. Yeah. Do your research. Make sure you've got those licenses.
And then let your creativity shine.
Exactly.
And who knows, maybe your cover will be the one we're geeking out over on a future deep dive. Until then, thanks for listening.